My name is Liz Hathway and it's Thursday evening here in Amsterdam, and I'm just going to give you my look at the week ahead, for the week starting Monday the 23rd of September. I will be uploading this video from Prague. Anyway, let's see what's going on. On Monday the sun moves into Libra. This is an important point in the year. It's Equinox. We have a sort of very precarious balance here. The days and nights are of equal length, but it's, you know, the scales are tipping. We're coming into the phase where the nights are getting longer. And if you look at the Ingress chart, you get that sense as well. The moon is in Cancer. It's just opposed Saturn. It's moving into opposition with Pluto. It's square Venus and it's square Mercury already in Libra. So there's a T-square there to Mercury and Venus in Libra. So while there is this huge emphasis on trying to find consensus, trying to find ways of negotiation through what is potentially quite difficult territory with the moon in Cancer opposite Pluto. The nodes, of course, are North Node in Cancer. It's all about tribe. It's all about our people, where we belong, our sense of belonging. South Node there with Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. So there's a lot of weight there. There's a lot of baggage there. And there's Venus in Libra with Mercury, as I said, trying to negotiate this quite tense opposition. I also think if we look at the sun is in, of course, just in 0 degrees Libra, opposite Chiron. There's a lot of pain there as well. There's a lot of old stuff, old issues, old battlegrounds, old lines of, deep running lines with Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn, which are to do with tribe and to do with family, the way it's always been done. Whereas the North Node in Cancer is urging us to find new affiliations, to find new senses of meaning and belonging, because the moon is always about belonging, where we feel at home, where we feel comfortable. But maybe we have to let go of the past to find that new family, to find that new equilibrium. But whichever way you look at it, it's quite a tense ingress. Mars in Virgo behind the sun there, the sun's back. So, fortunately, I think Mars in Virgo is quite diligent. It's a sort of a thoughtful Mars. It's it's kind of rational in a way. It's sort of always looking as well to find the most practical way around things. But there's definitely this build-up of cardinal energy. So the force for change, the force for new directions is very, very strong this week. If we move into Tuesday, we see Mercury inconjunct Neptune, Mercury sextile Jupiter. The inconjunct is always a bit of a sort of irritant. It's always a sort of challenge in a way, because the kind of change and the kind of things that Mercury in Libra wants to do, it's kind of running into some sort of element of dream, of fantasy, of idealism, of wishful thinking. But it's also sextile Jupiter, which is very much about the future, about the new way forward, the new direction, pointing that arrow. Sagittarius has to aim for something. So we have to, keep on trying at least to find new territory, new ideals, new things to inspire us. On Wednesday, we see Venus square the nodes, and we see Venus also square Saturn. Venus square Saturn is a difficult one. Venus, Libra is, of course, the sign where Saturn is exalted. So there is a sense as well that while Libra vacillates, while Libra will hum and ha, sit on the fence, find it really difficult to make a decision, because once you've made a decision, other possibilities are, of course, closed off. That's Saturn. He closes things down. He says that's where the buck stops. But it's a difficult square, it's a challenging square. And in terms of love and in terms of affection, there's very much that feel when Venus squares Saturn that, you're not loved just for love's sake. You have to have done something to deserve that love. You have to earn that appreciation. Saturn doesn't just, give freely and willingly. You have to earn it. And that's quite a difficult square, even though it can also, as I say, because Libra is the sign where Saturn is exalted, it can also bring about a lot of results. But there's that element as well of distance, there's that element of coldness, there's an element as well of friction always with the square. We can see that coming back again with Mercury square Pluto on Friday. This is almost a sort of battle in itself, Mercury square Pluto. You know, there is a lot of undercurrent with Pluto in Capricorn. There's a lot of things that are maybe happening under the surface, behind closed doors. It's not always clear. Pluto, when he, you know, comes and walks among men, he wears the helm of invisibility. So there's a way with Mercury square where there's a lot of effort really to try and break through, to try and get clarity, to try and bring things to the surface, to try and get to the nitty gritty of things. On Saturday then we have a new moon in Libra, Venus ruled, which is actually very hopeful. It feels very much, you know, as if there is a sense in a way that even though things are difficult, some progress is being made because the squares are persistent. You know, with the trines, it's all easy and flow and speed. You know, it's not always like that. The products of trines can also be not necessarily positive, and they just speed things up. But we know with squares, we have to, it's like walking into a wall, you know, you have to bring out the hammer, you have to knock the wall down, you have to really put in the effort to get through to the other side. But a new moon is always hopeful, it's always the start of a cycle, it's always a beginning of something. And it's beautiful that it's ruled by Venus. So we should this week and should, you know, in this Libra season, try and let peace and harmony, try and let ego take a little bit of a backseat, you know, because Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn as well, you know, there's a certain sense of power and power struggles and ego in there for sure. Coming into Sunday, we have Venus sextile Jupiter. So with Mercury sextile Jupiter on Tuesday, Venus sextile Jupiter on Sunday, you know, you get this feeling with these planets in Libra, they've got some powerful friends. You know, Jupiter in Sag is definitely looking further down the line, whereas Saturn, very often it's the buck stops here, let's put up a wall. You know, Jupiter has a vision, Jupiter wants to go beyond that. So there's a visionary feel. How difficult that ingress looks, that Sun in Libra ingress, how painful the whole picture might be in some ways. There is definitely a degree here of future orientation, of this sense of if we can just get through this, there's going to be something sweet, there's going to be something better on the other side of it. Okay, I wish you have a great week. I'm going to be loading this on Monday from Prague, and who knows, maybe I'll even get to make a film from there. Okay, thank you for listening. Bye.